What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and this I want to break down what's going on with the overall market, what you should be watching for as time progresses. I'm also going to break down some important news about how the market is looking, what you should be watching for as time goes on. And before I break anything down, all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. So, anyways, guys, let's talk about what's going on with the markets thus far. Looking at SPY, thing is up quite nicely, slowly uptrending. This wasn't a crazy move to the upside, but it has been slowly just climbing and climbing and climbing. We're seeing SPY approaching this high right over here. So, if you look at the 30 minutes time frame on SPY, we had this high of 475.89 to be watching for. We're actually very close to that right now. If we break this high, we have our next resistance at 476 coming up. And if that breaks, this thing has potential to go all the way up to 478 over the next couple of trading days, if not by a week or so from now. So there is still potential for this thing to hold up very nicely. As of right now, we have this very nice looking channel that's been developing on the charts, and we've been holding this quite nicely. You guys can see we're continuing to uptrend on SPY. We're approaching this high right over here. So it's doing quite well. It's holding up very nicely, and I really hope that it continues to push the way it's been pushing. And overall, it's not looking bad whatsoever. But I just want to mention that if you want to be a bear, just to go back, guys, we need to see this turn into like a flag. We need to see this like break to the downside. If we break this high, we could just invalidate this bear flag and just continue to remain bullish. So historically, during this time of year, the market does tend to be bullish, at least to end the year, or at least it tends to like range trade. So we'll see if the market holds up at least for the remainder of this year. We're just a couple of trading days away from the last day. And then we have 2024 coming. We have January coming. We'll see what happens after that. But for now, regardless of all of that, the market is holding up nicely, and SPY is trying to approach this high as we're getting very close to that 476 area. So it's uptrending nicely, still holding up the channel. It favors the bulls, as I mentioned a couple of hours ago. To turn bearish, you want to see this thing now lose 475. If we lose that, you're going to be watching support at 474 to 473.8, all the way down there. As of right now, we're holding up. So I really like to see the bulls just continue to maintain their edge. QQQ is holding up nicely too. We have this nice looking bullish channel. I can actually extend this as we're just continuing to hold up. And we're looking quite good. We're still favoring these bulls by some margin. We're still doing very well thus far. So if you look at this, we hit this bottom channel right over here. We bounced off of this. We bounced off of this. Bounced right here. We bounced right here. And we're just continuing to hold up. So it's very awesome to witness. Very good to see this just continue to hold. Now, as far as this high goes right here on the QQQ, we've actually broken this high and we're continuing to approach new all-time highs, which is very awesome to witness. We're going to be watching this 411 resistance, a break above this, and 412 is going to be our target, slowly climbing up higher and higher and higher. Right now, this trend is favoring the bulls on the QQQ. This bear flag like pattern could be invalidated. I think we're just about to invalidate it, and we're just continuing to hold up to end this year. So far, everything's looking more bullish. Watch that 411 resistance. QQQ is holding up nicely. For support, watch 410 and 409. On Nvidia stock, this thing is also holding up nicely in its channel. Now, what's interesting about Nvidia is we have this nice uptrend like this, going back and forth and back and forth. And we actually broke below this in a false breakout before we came right back up. But in the process of us kind of like breaking back into the channel, Nvidia is actually back testing this trend line. Did this like 4 times today, still holding up, and it's still maintaining this channel. So that's a pretty decent sign of strength. We're going to be watching resistance at this 495 area just to see if this thing can make its way back in. And so far, if we manage to hold this support and we continue to break out, I'm going to be eyeing this imbalance up here. We have an imbalance very close to 498. We also have these wicks very close to 500. So we could see Nvidia get up to 498 to 500 if we just keep on holding up. As long as we maintain this channel, we're going to be in a good place. You could see it actually got a back test right here from the breakout. So it came back to where the breakout area was, and it held up nicely. That's a good sign of strength. If it maintains this strength, it's going to be in a very good place going into next week. So far, so good for Nvidia. What about for Aapl? How is Aapl looking, in my opinion? I would say Apple's looking pretty good. Even though Apple has been downtrending, right? We have this big, strong downtrend on Apple. It's been holding up very decently at this 193 area. It came down a little bit lower towards 192.8, but it managed to come back up. It's basing very nicely, kind of trading sideways. Very boring day today, but it's still holding decently around this area. So you can see around this 192.8 to 193 area, it's holding up. For this thing to really turn bullish, though, we need to see this thing break out. It's very simple technical analysis. Get this break of 193.5, break it, and this thing is going to turn a bit more bullish. We're not that far from this area, but it hasn't happened yet. So I'm going to be eyeing this on Apple to see if this thing can get some kind of bullish breakout. Now, on top of that, we have Tesla, which is it was doing very well. It's still holding up nicely. Got a nice push to this 258 resistance. I was talking about this level earlier. I was saying at 258, we have this tight resistance. We keep projecting off of this. I want to see Tesla try to hold this up. Now we have this yellow trend line, which is where Tesla's been ping-ponging off of for the last few weeks, going back and forth and back and forth. Now it's trying to make its way back up, but it's struggling at this 258 resistance. We're going to be watching to see if Tesla could break that at least over the next couple of hours. Can we end up breaking this? Not just for the next few hours, sorry, for the next few days. Can we get a break above this and try to retest this yellow trend line? You see, going into Friday of last week, Tesla was trying to break the yellow trend line, but it failed to do so. This week, we could make an attempt to try to break this. Let's see if Tesla could try to get back up there. If it rejects, if it kind of like fails to break 258, it could come all the way back down to 254. So just be a little bit careful at 258. See if we could try to hold this and break above this. But for now, we're just going to be watching to see how it ends up perpetuating. Right now, we have a very, very nice stationary looking trend between supply and demand. Not really a whole lot is going on with it, but we got a nice move after the Chinese registrations came out. We're going to be watching to see if we can try to break 258. For now, Tesla's kind of trading flat, very choppy. Not a whole lot is going on with it. I don't expect too much, at least for the remainder of the day, but we'll just have to see. And then for the next few days, we'll wait and see if it could actually break that resistance. All right, so a few more runners. We have NEO, which is up 11% for the day. Very, very nice move after NEO day. It's a little bit overbought, but it's okay. It's on a very, very strong uptrend. We got some new news about the latest model, which is very, very good. Besides that, the IWM is up quite nicely. The Russell 2000 breaking above 202, hitting 204, getting very close to 210. At least it's getting closer to 210. Watch that 205 resistance. If we break above that, it has potential to push up even more. Holding up very, very nicely. The IWM looks very, very strong so far. Besides that, I think that's pretty much it for the video. The VIX is just very flat. It's not really doing much. The dollar is down a bit, which is very normal. And we saw Coinbase just cool off a bit, which is one of the things I anticipated on Sunday. So far, the market's just moving as many of us have anticipated. And nothing too crazy has been going on. Nice uptrend from SPY. However, Tesla's holding up decently. Let's hope this continues to hold up from here. All right, guys, so that's it for this one. Hopefully, this intraday update video was helpful. Market is still favoring the bulls, and we'll see what happens later on. But with that being said, have a great day, guys. The market's going to close very soon, and then tomorrow is going to be a new day. So take care, do what you have to do, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you, and peace out.